I know. I This usually happens every time when I'm doing my live stream. Something like this always happens every time. Every time, stupid softwares that I use. Yeah. Let me use this one. There you go. We're back. Sorry about the breaking transmission, really. This is what I said, that the live stream, I'm going to spend some time this weekend and set up the OBS properly. I'm going to stop using Streamlabs, man, because this guy, they're fucking hustled, man. He's just been hustling me for the last year, so I've spent thousands of dollars using this stupid app, and this is what I get. Yes, Streamlabs, your software is shite. Streamlabs, your software is shit. You guys just scam money from people every day. That's all you do. I don't think you guys even spend any. I don't think you have good developers to do shit for you. You're just milking money from people every day. I'm not surprised. It's America. Dodgy as motherfuckers. Fucking dodgy, know how to cut corners. That's all they know how to do. Especially with technology. It's the same. Cut corner, you know what. Alright, let's get back to it. I'm not even going to invest my energy going on you. Let's go back to what I was talking initially before we go disrupted by the transmission. I hate when I'm in the flow. All right, let's move on. So let me talk about something else again. I was watching earlier today, and there was this French guy was talking about he's not going to return things that were taken in Africa. He's not going to return it back because he doesn't think it was looting. You can't make this shit up. He said he wasn't looting because all right. It's all right. We're back. Sorry, guys. I need to find the video that I saw today. There was this French man that I saw was talking about there is no need for them to return the things that were stolen from Africa. Yeah, because they don't need to return it because it was looting. So looting and stealing is not the same thing, according to this man. I want to find a video because if I can find a video, it makes a lot of sense. Oh, I think okay, I see. Let me see. I think it's from Trevor Noah. All right. Let me see if I can. I think I should be able to play it from YouTube. I think I should be able to play from YouTube. So this was very fascinating. Let's say fascinating. It was very interesting, basically. I think it's one of those Trevor Noah's videos, basically. Let me see if I can find the title. Because it's kind of crazy that you can take something from somewhere and you don't want to return it back. Because, I found the video. Because I don't want to play because there's going to be some sort of copyright on it. So I want us to listen to this video. And let me set the precedent for you to understand. Some of you might have seen this video before, but some of you haven't. So let's go straight into this video to show you the kind of the level of craziness I don't think I've ever seen in my life. And I'm going to explain to you why a lot of people in the world do not like the Caucasian culture. Because I'm the one to tell you the truth. I'll do it in a very respectful way, which sometimes it's not even warranted, but I'll still do it because I don't think I need to disrespect you to prove a point. Okay? I don't have to disrespect you to try to highlight the things that it's just too even crazy can't even begin to describe it because it's more than craziness. I found a video. This is about 5 minutes long. Okay? So I want us to watch this video together. So let me set it up for you. Imagine I came to your home. I unalived you, cut off your leg, your hand, your shoulder, amputate you, squeeze you in a box, and ship you by the water and take you to every other part of the world. Then I took some of the things, some of your drawing that you drew on your wall, some of the things that you made at home, I took them away from you. Okay? Then I took them to my own home. 50, 60 years later, you remember that guy that I chop off his hand, chop off his leg, chop everything off and turn him to a slave? That guy, so his grandsons now, they're much more older, very educated, very smart. So they was like, then they came to you, oh, hey, when you came and you turned our grandfathers to chickens and pigs, when you're just chopping off their legs and their hands, when you take all that, those paintings and those statues that I made, that my grandfather made, you took everything away. Can you give it back to us? I want you to listen to what a Frenchman said. And I want the scholars, the educators, the college Kundala, the University of I Know It All. I want you to translate the level of intelligence that this man is sparking. Because I don't think he's speaking. I think he's sparking a whole lot of horse shit. Let's hear what he's going to say.
These artifacts, who do they belong to? They belong to the museums where they are now, because there are laws, and if even for the artifacts which were looted in the 19th century, the war, there was laws, and the looting of war was legal. Maybe it's not moral, but it's legal. And if you want to come back on this, why don't you come back 19th century, 17th century, 16th century? You cannot stop. You don't.
So, oh, this is my territory now. You see, a couple of weeks ago, I did it. No, it was a couple of days ago. I did the live stream. I said, the most dangerous device that we've ever created in the last 400 years, it's not bomb. This is the most dangerous thing we've ever created in the last 400 years. It wasn't internet. This is it. This is the most dangerous object we have ever created on the planet of this earth. And I'll tell you why. You see, your laws, before we have digital, they used to write it in a piece of paper. Okay? When you write it there, you have to sign it, which means you have to agree. Instead of you just shaking hands, just in case you might change your mind or you might lie about it, you need to write in a piece of paper and it needs to be agreed upon. Now, this man, look at him. He is a white French man coming on the public airways talking about some artifacts that was looted. And he referenced there was a law. You hear that? There was a law behind the looting. So, because looting during a war, it's legal. Let me say it again. Looting during the war, it's legal. So, technically, it didn't steal it. It was looted because legally, it is agreed in the law. Let's continue.
Nowhere to stop.
At the time, they weren't independent countries.
Yes.
So, of course, the colonial power can decide to take stuff. I mean, it is looting, isn't it?
No. It is looting, yes. Part of it was looting. But if you have read the report, I did read the report in English because I didn't get the French version. And the report says it's not only the war looting which must be returned, but everything. The scientific expeditions where they collected artifacts, they must give it back. The gifts from the colonial administration, you must give it back. Actually, you are going to give back to some countries, and they are not reclaiming it because, it's only the Benin which reclaim the artifacts, not the other ones.
So, for those who don't understand what this man is trying to say, is that there were some countries who didn't request it. And this is why, if you're a white man, specifically, if you're a white man, if you find out that a lot of Africans don't like you, it is not because you're a bad person. It's because of, unfortunately, we still have a lot of men who think exactly like this man does. A lot of men will still believe what this man believes. A lot of men will still have this ideology that this man has. A lot of men that will hide behind the law to justify the most horrific thing that this world has ever known and still exists till today. If you're a white man, if you're a white woman, because you see that there's a lot of hostility towards you, it's not because of you're a bad person. It's because this man, there is millions of men and women would think exactly just like him. Because this is where it gets a little bit more irritating for me, because I don't want to make it too personal. See, let me give you some of the things that I've heard many times. A lot of white people have said around my vicinity, to my face, indirectly, and I know many of you talk about this in closed doors. So there is this mindset that I didn't enslave you. I didn't play part in slavery, which is 100% correct. You didn't. Thank God you didn't. Because I promise you, I don't care what kind of fire gun you have. You will not take me against my will. It's not happening. So let's just scratch that, number one. Number two, I've heard a lot of white people will justify what this man is saying. This is something that gets said quite often, a lot. And we black people, we know that there's a lot of people who have this mentality. And this is why I said, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to crop what I'm saying, share it with other people who are open, who have the mindset to be very open about things like this. This is the most destructive thing we've ever created. It is not guns. Because under the so-called the law, it justifies some of the most horrific thing that we've ever done towards each other on the planet of this earth. What law initially was for is to guide people the same way a lot of people believe in religion. Now, I'm speaking based on my own knowledge. I'm not going by the Bible or the Quran. No. I'm going by the existence, the destructiveness of how we human beings have been for all this time. Because everyone is constantly looking for an edge to justify the horrific things that we do to each other every day. And what is the biggest justification in this world has always been the law. Law is a justification for a lot of horrific things that's ever happened on the planet of this earth. Because now, let's do humanity. There was a lady that said something very stupid before. I will find the video and show you that video too. She said, slavery did some good. Okay? And I'm not trying to make this live stream tonight about slavery or anything like that. But I just want to show you guys the level of arrogancy and the lack of empathy and understanding. So let me put it again one more time. I came to your house. I raped, killed, unalived your ancestors, your uncles, your great-great-grandfathers that you never know. As a white man, took your sons, your daughters, your wife, just, let's flip it the other way around. Then in 2025, I can sit on the public platform and I can talk to the entire world. And I can tell them that the things that I stole from you, the law allows me to keep it. Because it's justification, because that was looting, it wasn't stealing. I want somebody that has any quorum of understanding about humanity. I want you to respond to this video whenever you watch it.
Only Benin is claiming it.
Yes.
And that raises the other question. How do we get African kids to see their own artifacts?
Yes, you can do this. I think I milite for cooperation between French museums and Africa to organize exhibitions of art, African art. You can organize exhibitions permanently.
And how does that go? Because there's the question of
Yes.
The pieces when they travel around Africa. Does it go okay?
Yes, it's okay to send them to Africa, but they must return to the French museums where they belong.
You see, right there is why this world is still completely separated. So, man, today is not the day that I want to do this rant about people like this. And I want to say this again one more time. If you're a white man, if you're a white woman watching me right now, I'm not calling you racist. I'm not saying you're a bad person. But unfortunately, the fact is that we have not millions, we have billions of men and women who look like that man, who think exactly like that man. Because they don't think they've done anything remotely wrong at all. Because in their level of education, there is a justification for the horrific thing that anyone has ever done to anyone on the planet of this earth. Everybody knows about Palestine and Gaza, right? Everybody knows the situation that happened. If I tell you that there are a couple of countries, as I'm speaking to you right now, they've been in war for 20, 30 years, would you believe me? Would you believe me that there's a lot of countries, as I'm speaking to you right now, they are in war? And this fucking idiot can sit in his suit. That man is probably in his 50s or in his 60s. And you watching me right now, you're gonna have so much respect for that man because he's wearing a suit, and you're gonna see him as is a man that is very intelligent because he's a French. It's a French. Je vois le that fucking idiot of a man would think that he is being completely, utterly intelligent with everything that is coming out of his mouth. There is no empathy. There is no sympathy. There is no remorse. There is no human comprehension at all. There is justification because during war, when you take things from the people that you've unalived, the people that you've put in chain and shackled, the justification for that is the law, because the spoils of war is a benefit for the victor. That man today is gonna be some sort of an advocate for the French government. In 2025, if you're a white man, if you're a white woman, if you've never enslaved anyone in your life, if you don't have a racist bone in your life, how do we distinguish between you and that man? Because this man, there's about 2 or 3 billion of people just like him who believe in things and act and talk and behave exactly with the fucking audacity like that. Right there. Because that is the justification for looting and killing. I know we are not supposed to call his name. The German guy, Hitler. You know, everybody talks about him that he's the worst thing since sliced bread. No. He wasn't even worse at all. No, he wasn't. You're not going to find that in the history book. There is a king of Belgium, King Leopold II. Go and Google it and see exactly what that degenerate human being did in Africa. Approximately, they say Hitler killed or him and his coons. They unalived about almost 10 million Jews. All that a bottle. The same Marasoka like that, the King Leopold, he killed about 50 million Africans, chopping off their hands, their legs, even some of them their dicks, for amusement and control. You see, it's very uncomfortable, right? But that is a lot of things why a lot of people struggle to ease up around some white people, because I know for a fact that man is not just speaking for himself. He's speaking in representation of billions of people who have the same mentality and the ideology that he has. Because this is why sometimes I wish I could get in all these panels, because I'm not going to go with all these English overqualified, complicated questions to make it sound like I'm overly qualified or intelligent or I went to some fucking university. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to ask some really straight up direct questions that will make that man cry. Because in a realistic world, wherever you're watching me, look, I'm not saying anything that is really out of bounds. Let's just roll reverse. Let's flip it. Let us flip it. How would you feel, me as a black man, enslave you as a white man and as a white woman? I take all your freedom, all your liberty. I make you the worst of the worst human being. I projected everything about you is negative, is bad, is not good. Everything black is destructive, is bad, is awful. And I can wear a suit and I can sit on a public podium and I can talk to the entire world and tell them that the justification for taking up artifacts from all these African countries is because during war. So let me ask a question. This colonialism really that a lot of people like to dance around with. Did Africa came and knock your door in Europe and say that we want to challenge you? Has Africans ever come to the Western world and tell you that we want to challenge you for you to think remotely by any chance in any form of justification in this world? Because these are the men that you watching me somehow, somewhere, you're going to think this man is a well-respected Frenchman because he is speaking on behalf of the French government. And these two white men, even the other man, just looking at him like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? But you are going to listen to that man say more.
So why is there this promise from Emmanuel Macron?
I don't know. You must ask him. But I think he was like a witch who doesn't know what he does, you know. But because he says we are going to give it back, as if these artifacts it doesn't belong to anyone but the French museums.
Can you hear that? The artifact that was taken from Africa does not belong to Africa now. Now it belongs to the French museums. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll say it again one more time. If you're a white man or white woman, if you struggle with identity crisis because you feel like you don't fit the place, you don't know what to say, is that unfortunately there is the millions of people who believe what this man believes. You got to understand something. It's not that what you're saying. What is even worse is that it's in your core spirit that you don't think there's anything wrong with what this man is saying. How come they can't say the same thing to China? I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me, really, because I don't think any Chinese artifact is sitting in some fucking other person's museum right now with the way China is going. So let me put this straight. Because they used to say something, they say karma is a bitch. Okay? I want you to, what do you think is going to happen one day? A superpower that the technology is so advanced that they can tell America to shut the fuck up and they'll shut the fuck up. If they decide they want to enslave America and the Western world, do you think it's fair? Do you think it's fair? How would that make you feel? Because that's where the real conversation is. Do you think it's fair? Because karma is a bitch. See, the universe have a way of coming back, because what goes around somehow usually comes back around, because this man believes that the artifact that was taken from Africa does not belong to Africa. It belongs to the French museum, like the British museum, like the Belgian museum, like the German museum, like the Dutch museum, like the Spanish museum, like the Portuguese museum. The slavery was a decoration of glory for all the colonized countries who colonized other African countries. And this man that you're seeing on this screen, this one.
And it's very interesting because we saw an example in Senegal. You know, I think it was a museum in Senegal. In Senegal, you have a museum, IFAN Museum, which has in its collections many works of art from many other countries from Africa. And it was a collection built during the colonial era. Are they going to give it back to the other countries, this museum in Senegal? I don't think so.
Am I normal yet? Do you get the sense of entitlement in his voice? This man is so entitled to something that doesn't belong to him. And he's so very cool about it that he can talk buoyantly and confidently that something that is in the land. Africa never used to have borders or countries. Africa was a land. Every tribe has their own thing. But now look at me. I'm wearing a cowboy hat. I'm wearing a shirt very influenced by the Western ideology. Because this man is seen as is better than me. That man that you're looking right now, that man right now, if both of us were stranded in an island, they will come and rescue that man. They will leave me there. That is just the fact. They will rescue this man. They will leave me there. That is a fact. Because that man right there, he is way more important than me, close to his 60s, than me, who is half his age. Because the world see anything that is black, like it doesn't have any value. Unless you go and dig his backyard. You take his gold, his diamond, his uranium, his knowledge. That's the only time that is worth anything. But if I'm not wearing a monkey suit, I'm not intelligent.
But if they were stolen,
No, they were not stolen. It was looting, yes, but there were laws.
I don't get this distinction between looting and stealing.
No, it was stolen if you want, but in the 19th century, in the 18th century, in the 17th century, during all the wars, art was stolen. So we must get back everything or nothing. And more of this, these works of art, when they were taken, if they were not taken, they would have disappeared, because many of artifacts, African artifacts, are made of wood, and wood it was not made to be kept, you know, so it would have disappeared. They became works of art in museums because Europeans said it's art, you know.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, I'm trying not to crash out here, man. I swear to God. I'm trying not to crash out. I'll let him speak. I'm sorry, guys. I'll let him speak.
It's not from Africa. It was not art. It was meant to disappear.
Right. These artifacts would have disappeared in the past,
yes,
but don't anymore. You talked about exhibiting more of these works in Africa.
Yes.
What do you do to help African countries to have proper museums that are with the proper funding so that they can keep things climate controlled and to preserve the works when they go over there? What needs to be done?
They need advice from people who know what is a museum, who know to build them. So we know this and we can help them to do this. And even in the report, they say that there are 500 museums in Africa. Maybe. So maybe there are already museums which can conserve these works of art. But we must help them.
Right there. That was what I was waiting for. We must. Insertion. Mandating. We must. We have to. See, the day I'm going to go viral, it's not now. The day I'm going to go viral, not yet. Because, unfortunately, in 2025, we still have millions of men and women who so-called is so educated that they don't think this man is saying anything remotely wrong at all, because there's a lot of justification about looting, then teaching the people that you stole things from and telling them that you have to teach them how to preserve something that they created by themselves. Something that they've been creating for thousands of years before you ever even came to the picture. Like, you see the level of arrogance here, for me, it's unbelievable. This is another reason why I love my friends. They don't like Frenchmen. They don't like them at all.
Much money from France to Africa, and it's good for helping Africa. Maybe part of this money.
I was going to say, Didier, because you were on a panel here where you were very critical when there was the opening of the Louvre in Abu Dhabi,
yes,
saying France's cultural diplomacy was misguided. What can the French government do specifically when it comes in this regard? Should they be devoting more energy to Africa to help them?
They can help Africa. I don't see why they could not help Africa when they are renting their collections to Abu Dhabi, you know, because Abu Dhabi has money and Africa has less money. I think we must help Africa. It's not the point. The point is we must not return art which actually doesn't belong to them.
All right, Didier.
Ladies and gentlemen, imagine I came to rob you, and I'm telling you for facts that what I stole from you does not belong to you. Let that sink in for a second, ladies and gentlemen. In 2025, I can take something from you, then I can tell you that what I took from you doesn't belong to you. This is the level of audacity that I'm talking about. Like I stated the other day, I said, when I did the so-called research that people like to use in those days, in 2025, the modern level of education that we have originated, the laws that we have today originated from the 1600s by the big five schools, the Yale, Harvard, Columbia. Those are the schools that started this old religion mumbo jumbo bullshit. Jesus Christ is Lord. He's coming to this. He's coming to that. This is where it all came from. This is what set the precedent that we have today. I'm Christian. I was born, raised as a Christian. In fact, my families actually do watch me. They do tease me a lot. But I say the truth. That white man is not just the only white man. There are millions of men and women who believe that that man hasn't said anything wrong at all. Everything he said is 100% factually incorrect. Because that man didn't say anything that is not responsible. Like I've always said many times, my fellow Caucasian brothers and sisters, let's role reverse. How would you feel if I put chains in your hand, chains in your leg? Take away all your taxes that you pay. Come and sit in your parliament house or in your president house or in your king or queen house. How about I come there and I take and I dominate everything? Then I tell you when to stand up, when to sit down, when to take a shit, when to sleep with your wife. Maybe I'm going to take your wife today. I'm going to take your wife tomorrow. Then I would justify it because I impose a law that you have to follow. And in that same law, I will put all kind of different loopholes to justify, to qualify, all kind of things. It's called, in law, it's called clauses. There's all kind of clause variation in every law. Because there is always a backdoorian way to justify something. It's never black or white. There's always clauses. Just in case there's this clause. Just in case of that, there is that clause. This is why when a lot of people think Africans don't like other part of the world, that is not correct. I'm an African man. I remember the very first time I saw a white person. I'm not like a Google guy, white person. Well, I was like, oh, okay. But when I actually start living around here, it doesn't really faze me very much. But I'm speaking this. I'm not saying this because I'm trying to be controversial. Is that unfortunately in 2025 we have millions of men and women who still believe what that man believes. That looting something from an African country does not belong to them. It belongs to the French government. Because looting and stealing is not the same thing. Because looting legally is allowed. Stealing legally is not allowed. But it's justified because they're both written on the same piece of paper that you and I walk around with every day. Because these can make or break your life in the Western society. And these are the same people that turn around and make them feel like they're smarter than everybody. Because another reason why, it's just a theory, my own theory. One of the reasons why a lot of people do not like Africans is that when it comes to critical thinking, I don't think you can critical think better than an African man. Nah. You cannot critical think yourself away from an African man because where you don't want to go with your head, we've already been there, come back already. We've seen all the angles, all the manipulation you want to do. We've seen it already. I'm just saying, if the French government think the looting they did, looting, you killed millions of people. You destroyed a lot of family. You destroyed a lot of legacy. You took things from their museums and now you don't want to return it. You were justifying it by using the phrase looting, not stealing. Then you can go on public podium and say that they are not allowed to share the thing that belongs to them, to rent it out to another country that will pay them the value of what it belongs to them. But you, as a French government, you have the authority. You demand. You can't make this shit up, man. You cannot. If you think I'm lying, wherever you're watching me right now, go and Google it. Check in, when did Harvard University started? What was the motive behind why all these schools start going out to preach the gospel to the rest of the world? Go and look, go back in time. You will see the traces of your core modern education that you have today is just nothing but a colonialism propaganda. And you might say you're an hypocrite because you're speaking the same English. Have you ever asked yourself that? Have you ever seen a white man being forced to speak another language because those people, they don't want to speak English at all? He has to communicate by force. I live here in Australia, yeah. If you're here, if you don't speak English, people don't even want to give you a job. When has it been required for you to learn how to speak the native yet? Have you ever been required to speak the native tongue? No, you're not. You must speak English. If you don't speak English, you're not civilized. If you don't speak French, you're not civilized. If you don't learn Spanish, you're not civilized. Portuguese, same thing. German, same thing. Because when you go there, when you don't go to Italy, they say you don't go to Rome, you behave like a Roman. You have to learn how to speak Italia. When has Italian ever tried to learn how to speak Yoruba? Or Bantu? When? They are not obligated to do so. Why should they? Because the victories, they always write the stories. And this is why I always say people, like, thinking is not illegal to think. Thinking, actually, it's the most easiest thing to do. But the way people think, they think their thinking is a very misplaced thinking. It's very misplaced priorities. Okay? It's a very misplaced priority how people think. This is why in 2025 here in Australia, that this is something that is still something that we have to deal with. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just coming into this live stream right now, I want to show you something that it just passed. Because this is the sample of the things that goes on in so-called Western society. That it makes me giggle. I just want to laugh. Because this is what is happening. Listen.
6 feet under with our four-legged friends. It's a bit morbid, but many people would love to spend the rest of their days with their pets. And lucky for Noodle here, he's got many years left ahead of him, but it is now legal in Victoria to be buried alongside your pet. Passed through Parliament last week, spearheaded by Animal Justice Party MP Georgie Purcell, that many people's final wish is to be buried alongside their pet. Now, pets can be buried in human cemeteries in Victoria. And I spoke to, well, some dog owners who some think it's a good idea, some think it's maybe a bit weird, but people, certainly got people talking here in Richmond in inner Melbourne.
My actual thoughts are something that I've seen that you can do is, obviously, I would actually probably look at getting her cremated.
Yes.
Putting her in her special spot, and you can actually get it tattooed into your skin.
What would you get the tattoo of?
Her face.
Oh, I probably won't be burying him with me because he'll be long gone. But yeah, I mean, why not?
All my partner's family buries their dog at the golf course, so maybe there.
Not for me. Yeah, it's a little bit weird, I think.
No, that's
I do know people that might do it, but yeah, not my thing.
Of course, there are some concerns about whether or not there's enough room in our cemeteries to accommodate our furry friends, but as I said, luckily for young Noodle here, he's got many good years left ahead of him before we have to worry about that. Hey, buddy. Good boy.
Yeah, I wasn't lying when I said the thumbnail would surprise you. And ladies and gentlemen, there was a man in a suit telling us that they just passed a law in Melbourne. I live in Melbourne here. And the law is that you can now bury your cat and your dog with you when you die, because that is the priority of what is important in the society today. Of any accomplishment they could accomplish this past week, they signed a law to bury your cat and your dog with you. Welcome to 2025, when we're all fucked up because our priority are misplaced all over the place. Let me say it again. Welcome to 2025, where our priorities are misplaced all over the place. Because you have to be fucking kidding me to think this is a newsworthy thing that people should feel excited about. I live here in Melbourne. The cost of living has stayed the same. Food stayed the same. No, in fact, food has gone up. Seriously up. To buy a crate of eggs now is about $20-something. Eggs. To buy a 30 crate of eggs is $20-something in some places. Some places is 25, even 30 in the high end. The best place, I think in Woolies or Coles, I think it's about $16-17. If you go to the fresh marketplace, it's about $15 or $13. Just eggs. Crate of eggs. You don't want to talk about good healthy food. Healthy food will cost you 3 times more than you can eat burger or KFC. Because that way you eat fast. But all you're eating is all kind of chemicals in your stomach. Mental health crisis, depression, fat. Those are the things that we have. But the lawyers, the so-called educated people that wear suits around every day, they can publicly tell us things that we don't know. They would tell us that they are your tax-paying money is going to things, but they just gave you the latest update. Because this is the most important thing in your life at the moment. Your priority in your life is that when you die, you should bury your dog or your cat with you. Welcome to 2025, like I said again, where your priorities are misplaced all over the place. So please, if you're watching this live stream, do me a favor. Because I checked, about 92% of the people who watch my live stream are not subscribed. By now, we should be about 10,000 or 20,000 followers by now. But please, do me a favor. I can see many of you here already. Many of you come and gone already. Just subscribe. Just subscribe and comment and just click the notification button. I come on live stream most of the time now. Just subscribe. It's cheap. It's free. Just subscribe. Do me a solid. I put a lot of time and effort to get all these things for you. I use my own money to pay for these stupid Streamlabs. I am getting off Streamlabs. I'm going to OBS or FBS or whatever they call it. So if you don't understand my English when I say things sometimes, put the question there. I'll respond to you back. But welcome, like I said one more time. My name is Lex. I'm the host of the Daily Rant. Okay? All these things that you see here is my money. I'm not sponsored by any establishment or any government. I am not. I sponsor by myself. I pay for myself. Because I just like to bring some different authenticity that we don't have. All right? My show is a live stream. I don't have time to edit and cut. This is how you want to watch what I do. I have a lot of shows. I have about 100 and something videos. Go to the live section. You will see I have a lot of videos there. If you can watch it on your phone or you can watch it on a big screen, there's 2 options there. I'll be back again because there are all kind of ridiculous things that I see every day. It is next level. So please, do me a favor. Subscribe. It's free. Subscribe and comment. Like I always say, thinking is not illegal to think. But I think they are working on it because very soon, once they pass those laws that you should stop thinking that they will set up some legislation that will start thinking for you on your behalf. You have to believe them because the government always wants the best for you. Innate.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying. Get in Igbo.